this is not the kind of weather that you want when you have to get up to the clinic for a 7:30 a.m. appointment.
Hey guys, so we're back at the clinic this morning, and that drive was mental. Usually where we live, the gritters get to us quite early, but I think because there's snow everywhere this morning, not just us, we live in an area like it's higher ground, so we tend to get a lot of snow, but because there's snow everywhere, the gritters have not been. So we had to drive in the snow this morning, which was just, I'm not the best, like, nerve-wise. Oh, I feel like my nerves are shot. But we made it, we're here. We had one skiddy moment on our roundabout, but other than that, we replaced our car this year and we got a 4-wheel drive, so that's helping. But yeah, so we are at the clinic. Sheilah has just gone in. We were quite late. We only just made the whole 15 minutes after your appointment thing. It is very, very early in the morning, which is why it's so dark, and also why the roads are so bad. But yeah, so she's just gone in for her scan, and yeah, we're gonna find out today what's going on with her lining, if she's responding to the drug she's on, and we'll go from there. Hi.
Hi.
How was it?
It's all good. So I'm exactly as I should be,
Okay.
which is nice. So I have a 8.6 millimeter thickness. 8.6 millimeter thickness, and anything above 7 is classed as okay.
Okay. For now, or for putting one in?
No, just in general.
Okay.
Anything above 7 is good. I did ask, like, was there a maximum or a target, and she said, oh, not really. Anything above 7 is perfect.
Okay.
If you were, she says, I'm going to make this number up because it's never ever happened, but if it was like 30 mil, then we'd be a bit worried as to why, and we'd maybe try and force a bleed beforehand so it's a fresh kind of lining. But 8.6 is great, and it's what they call a triple layer. So there's something in the middle of it which is exactly as it should be at this point. She says that's what we look for to make sure that this triple layer is there. And she says it is, and it looks beautiful, and that's grand. And then they checked my ovaries to make sure they were quiet and behaving themselves. So my right ovary has a tiny follicle on it, and I was like, oh, is that bad? She's like, no, you're allowed tiny follicles. She says it's just if they look like they're big and trying to do something, but she says it clearly isn't, so she says that's fine. And the left one, she says a couple of shadows there that look like very, very small ones, but no bad things, like that's all okay, and everything is grand, so that's good. So I discovered 2 new things today.
Oh.
So we're talking through like the next lot of medication. So I start my injections twice a day and the pessaries twice a day on egg retrieval day.
Okay.
And the point of that, because I was like, I don't really understand. So she laughed. She said, well, that's progesterone. I was like, yeah, but it's like, that's where we got confused. So she laughed and she said, no. She said, so your estrogen has built up the lining, so it builds up. The progesterone changes the lining. So the progesterone, well, she said it progesterizes the lining, which I think was a made-up word, but it prepares it for the embryo to allow the embryo to stick.
Okay.
Just the estrogen in the lining by itself isn't enough. It needs to be progesterized was her word, not mine, and that then makes it receptive to an embryo.
Okay.
So that's why I start progesterone when you do egg retrieval, because effectively your body, once you release the egg from the follicle becomes that corpus luteus thing, whatever it's called, which releases progesterone. which
Okay.
then allows the embryo to stick. But
You
we
don't
need
have
that
that.
in my body because I haven't released an egg, and that's what the injections and the pessary is for.
Okay.
So that was kind of good to know. And the other thing I found out, which actually tracks back to what she told me last time that I didn't understand, I do take the Prognova forever. And I said, oh, I thought it was the pessaries that I took forever. And she went, no, you take them both forever. I was like, oh, okay. She said, yeah, so when you start the pessaries, the injections will just be for 6 days, and the pessaries will be until kind of the end of the first trimester.
So not forever then.
Not forever, it's a slight exaggeration. And the Prognova is the same. I now take the Prognova right the way through until kind of end of first trimester.
Okay.
And they'll tell me when to stop those.
But they're just tablets, right?
They're just the tablets, yeah. The ones that I take 3 a day.
So the injections you'll just do like 6 days of?
6 days, 1 in the morning, 1 at night,
Okay.
from egg retrieval day, which is basically the 5 days of fertilization.
Yeah.
And then up till transfer day.
Okay.
And then I would continue with the pessaries, and I'd keep going with the Prognova.
Okay.
So it was all good.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. I'm glad, because I was laughing with her. I was saying to her, like, I've been a bit, not panicky, but I've been taking all these drugs. I've been taking my Prognova as requested, and like, I don't know that my body's doing anything. There's nothing visible. There's no visible changes. I've not had any mood swings. I've not. So yes, I bled when I was supposed to bleed, but other than that, I've got no idea that my body was doing what it was meant to do. So it was a bit weird, and I couldn't. I was struggling to wrap my head around the fact anything was happening.
So is it nice reassurance?
Yeah, it's nice to know everything's as it should be, and my body has responded the way that they would wanted it to, and everything looks good and healthy and normal. So that kind of is like, okay, this is all working, and that's another tick in the box that we're on the right path.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all good.
Exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.